Hi, this is Soulgazer. So today I got the men's jersey, kids jersey, and women's jersey. So let's compare these three jerseys today to see what's similar and what's different. Unfortunately, I thought I got the blue one for this men's size, but it was actually the white ones, and I didn't have any blue jersey. So the men's size will be slightly different, but let's get into it. I think I did a jersey review for the white one, or at least the men's one. Pretty much they're the same thing, so I'm not gonna go over the same information twice. But let's look at this real quick. So it's extra large, size 52, made in Guatemala. And they had a patch. There's no cutout or there's no slit on the hem. And it has a Nike Connect. And this is how it looks, the patch. And this is all patch. This is a sticker kind of thing where they paste it on. It's a print. And they have this shoulder piece. And there's a taping on the side with different panel. It's a separate piece. It's a yellow fabric. And that's pretty much men's sizes. So now let's look at the women's size, or let's look at the kid size first. So this is the kid size. It's $70, so it's $40 cheaper than men's size. So as you can see from the sticker, it says Nike Connect, but actually there's no Nike Connect in here. I'm not sure where they got this from, but there is no Nike Connect. The labels are slightly different. So this is the kid size. Let's see what size I got. I believe it was extra large. It's extra large 1820, made in Vietnam. So this is made in different country from the men's size. And the neckline looks a little bit different. And the print, the yellow is not as clean. You kind of can see the little blueness in this patch. They're all cut out. It's a heat transfer patch. But good thing about this, I don't see any white edges that I see in some of the other men's size, so that's a really good thing. And there's not much warping on the shoulder. That's also another plus. And they use a similar rib. Tab is a little bit smaller. And let's look at the side panel. There's no hem, and maybe because of the sizing, but the width of this section feels a little bit more narrower compared to the other models. And to the back, it seems as the fonts or the letters and the number feels a little bit smaller compared to the men's size. And also the shape of the shoulder panel feels a little bit different. It looks wider to the side compared to the ones for the men's size. This is how it looks. And let's get to the women's side. It's extra small, and this is Nike Plus or Nike Connect. Let's see if there is a Nike Connect on this one. So this one looks pretty small because this is a women's size and it's extra small. It looks tiny compared to the rest. And this one actually does have a Nike Connect, and maybe it's because of this price tag. It's $110, which is the same Same price as the men's size. The cut is slightly different. The shoulder strap is a lot thinner, and the center line drops down a lot lower than for the men's. When you do the ratio, it drops down a lot wider. And because it's more narrow, there is no curve. It's a little bit more straighter compared to the men's or the kids. And this is made in Guatemala, which is same country as the men's size. So this part is a lot more narrower. This is actually more narrow than the side on rib knit. Not much warping because there's not much space. And this swoosh is about the same, but it's hitting at the seam right here, so it's not gonna lay nicely until you wear them. I think when you wear them, it'll be fine. But the swoosh seems a little smaller too. We're gonna compare that later. And this is the patch for the warriors. They're pretty much the same, but I think this patch looks better than the kid size. I think it's about the same size. The quality is about the same. There is no side cutting edge with white. That's a really good thing. Yep. And then if you look at the side, it's a little bit more curved for a better fit. And it actually goes in and goes out from the waist. This is the only one that does that. And for a Swingman class, this actually has a slit. No one else has this. I personally wish they had this in the men's too. Hopefully there'll be an adjustment for the next season. And there's size label here, Swingman 32, all the usual stuff. And it also has a Nike Connect here. So let's look at the back. They still have this shoulder piece right here, which is good. And because this thing doesn't change in size, it looks pretty big. And Curry is still yellow font, and 30 is the same thing. And the rib and the craft thing is not that bad. It's alright. It's about the same, I think. And because it flares out, it fits to the body a little bit better. So when you look at the side panel, it's a little different. It doesn't lay as flat. There will be a little bit of gathering right here because it curves in here. So this is the peak point of curving in, then it curves out. So it will not lay flat. But it does have same construction where it has a side panel, separate piece, and having this tape in the middle. The back is a little bit longer for this. So let's compare the neckline. So they all have separate piece of rib. They're about the same width, but because the opening is different, they do look quite different from far away. Men's size, which is the top one, is definitely wider. It doesn't go down as much, whereas this one is about the same. This one actually goes down a little bit more than the men's, but they're a little bit more narrow on the width of the opening. The shoulder width, it's a lot bigger for the kid size. This feels a little bit closer to what Adidas did in the past. And the women's has a lot narrower strap. And as far as the construction goes, they're about the same. because the men's size have a lot more space to work with, the curves are a little bit nicer, whereas the kid size, they're a little bit off because it's a little bit less space to work with. And this one is like completely different too. It's even smaller, so this curve is a little bit off. And I feel that this rib, you know what? I just noticed this is not the rib that they have for men's. So this is the men's. This is the kids. It looks a little bit different. So for women's, as you can see, there's up and down to it, but this one doesn't have that little gap in between. And this one definitely has this ridge, like right here, this gap. They don't have it in this one. This is closer to what Adidas did too. So same difference here. It's all connected, whereas this one, it's not disconnected. They have a little bit of gap in between this line that they don't have on this one. And this is the woman's, and this is just like the men's. It has these lines that's a little more visible. For this one, it looks a lot more flat. So those are the difference between these three models. The stretch wise, they stretch about the same. This one have more bounce to it. It comes back a little bit stronger compared to these. So now we're gonna check the size of swoosh. This is men's, this is kids, and this is women's. So I'm gonna measure the distance here. It's about 2 1/4, 3/4 for men's. So I'm lining up with the top line to the end, and this is about 2 1/8. And for women, it's about 2 inches. So men's has the biggest, then the kids, and the women. It's like the rubberish print. They're all the same. And the men's feels the strongest. This one is a little bit more stiff compared to these. This is a lot more flexible, but this one is a little bit more stiffer. And this one is the same as the kids. So slightly different between men and the other two. So now we're gonna compare the size of the logo. So men's, kids, and women. As you can see, the men's are a little bit bigger, but I think women, they're about the same. Or women and kids, they're about the same. But as you can see, because this is made in different country, the yellow, when you compare these two, they're a little different. This is the correct one. This one has a little bit of blue to the yellow. So Adidas jersey did this, where they have a little bit of blue tone in the yellow area. So as far as the quality goes, this one's better. The lines are a little bit more cleaner compared to these. The lines are a little blurry on these, as you can see here. It's blurry around the edge, whereas this one, it's a lot cleaner edge. And with the men's size, they have a crispier print, just like the women's. So maybe that's the price you have to pay to have the kid size. Is having a little bit less quality, but it is $40 cheaper. Let's look at the side panel now. So here's the side panel for this men's size. This is the kid size, and this is the woman's size. For the woman's, this taping feels a little bit more smaller, or either that or the side panel is a little bit more wider on the woman's. And I think it's the kids that's a little bit more narrower. And as far as the balance goes, men's and the women's, they're about the same, but the kids, they definitely look a little bit more narrower. And when compared with the size of the tape, for this size, it should be slightly more narrower. Then more like this one, I think it would be better. But because they have a same tape, or about the same tape, it looks a little bit too wide. And the biggest difference between all three is the women's. For men's and kids, there's no slit, but for women, there's slit, and it actually extends a little bit lower on the back. And this is something different, and the way that they did this is different from what they have on Authentic. The Authentics, they actually scroll back, and this piece right here on the front will extend a little bit further back to overlap. But this one is just so it's a little bit more simple to make. And for the label, so Nike Connect on this, Swingman, this is the standard label. For the kids, they're a little bit smaller, and it doesn't have all the details as well as Nike Connect. And for women, it's the same as the men's. So onto the back, these patches seems to be about the same size. Let's get to the number and the name. So as you can see, KD, or the men's size, is definitely bigger compared to the kid size. And the kids and the women, they have the same size font, but just like the front logo, the yellows are a little different. This one has a little more blue to it, whereas this one is a more cleaner yellow. But the quality of the patch, they're about the same. After looking at all these jerseys, I hope you were able to get the difference between all three jerseys. There are some difference between the adult size and the kid size, but between men and women, there's not that much difference in quality except for some of the shaping that they have. So if you are thinking of getting the lazy size, make sure you understand that it's a different cut than what men's and kids have. The cut is a little bit smaller, so these shoulder pieces are a little bit more narrower compared to the men's size or the kid size. If you're in between getting the kid size and like large size or the men's size, there are big difference in price, which is $40. That's a big difference. And there are some difference in quality because they are cheaper. One of the big difference being the patch. The color is not correct. It's a little bit more bluish, but the construction is about the same. So if you don't mind this blueness in the yellow, I think you could pull this off. And the width of the shoulder is a little bit wider compared to the men's or the women's. So that's pretty much the preference. Oh, the rib is different too. If you can pull it off wearing this size, I think this is a good buy. But if you prefer more quality, I definitely think you should go into the smaller size of the men's. So if you are getting this for next season, I think now is a good time because there's a lot of sales going on. There's no reason for you to pay retail. Look out for all those discounts and get the jersey you like while you can. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope this will help you out if you are trying to choose a jersey. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well as liking the video. Appreciate your support and see you next time.